All right, guys, what's going on? What's going on, man? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, all right, so today we have something extremely special for you guys. We are actually going to be showing you how to implement artificial intelligence in your business to get you your first deal. I see Rick, tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday. And yes, we're going to get you taken care of. So if you just 1 second, we'll get you taken care of and get you on 1 second and get you together, Rick, because the information we're going to give you today is actually going to get you to your first deal a lot easier by leveraging AI. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, Nasser, for some reason I can't hear you, man. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
You can hear me. Okay, cool. Give me 1 second here. Let me try to restart this. I don't know what's going on with my audio, but I will be right back in. Sorry about this, guys. Give me 1 second here.
All right, go ahead.
Hold on.
So yes, we're waiting for Matt to as we wait for Matt to come back on. Essentially, this, the purpose of this live is the purpose of this live is to get you guys to your first deal by leveraging artificial intelligence. What if I told you there's a way you could press a button to get different text messages variation, to cold call, to get comps by just a touch of a button by asking AI? AI, we're getting into a situation with artificial intelligence is just the future, and we're getting with artificial intelligence is the future, and being that it's the future, what we would like to do is just expose you to it before it actually before it's too late, right? I want to get you in on the up on the front side. Now, I'm sure can you guys hear me pretty good? Can somebody text me, let me know they can hear me? Can anybody, y'all can shoot a text that y'all can hear me. I want to make sure that my sound is good. All right. Somebody said they can hear me. All right. So yes. With that being, all right, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys can hear me. With that being said, yeah, Matt is having issues with his laptop. He's restarting, but essentially what we're trying to do is just show you how to leverage AI to get your first deal. Okay. And the power of AI is, I mean, it's crazy, man. You can actually ask artificial intelligence, what should you offer, etc. All those questions that you have when you're new is like basically having somebody by your side. Okay. So hopefully, uh hey, somebody called me Nas Escobar. That's what they used to call me as a kid, Nas Escobar. But yes, hopefully with this video and audio is good. Oh, I appreciate that. Yes, thank you for letting me know, man. And I'm actually redoing this whole room, so hopefully this room will get be redone. As you see, there's no more TV behind me. I took that out of there, and um took the TV out of there, and just gonna redo this whole room, man. Got something newer and more modern than the TV was so 2020, if that makes sense. Those kind of went out, but just got rid of that. And yeah, just redoing the whole room. But back to wholesaling, right? So essentially, like, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is you find a deal at a deep discount, right? You find a deal at a deep discount, and from finding that deal at a deep discount, you turn around and sell it for a profit. So, for example, let's say you found somebody selling a house for $40,000, right? They lived 3 hours away from the property. The property was just getting letters from the city, it owed tax, etc. So therefore, what you would do is you would actually get that property under contract for 40, call the cash buyer, and say, hey, I'm looking for 50,000 on this property, right? And then the cash buyer walks that property, and with the cash buyer walking that property, he says, you know what, 50 will work, right? And then what happens is you would assign him the contract. Once you assign him the contract, he'll send over the contract and the assignment to the title company or closing attorney. I'm in North Carolina. We use closing attorneys. Your state might be a title company. And you can actually, you send that over. They do the title search. So on closing day, your cash buyer, your end buyer, he's going to wire in $50,000. So what will happen is the seller gets their 40, you get your 10,000. Now, if you did this once a month for 12 months, that's $120,000. You know, that was more than the average combined household income. You know, if you were to just do that solely by yourself. And Matt, thank you for joining us, man. And we're gonna
I'm working now. There we go.
Yeah, it's working. So we are going to jump right into this content in reference to, I want you to show us, right? Like the tool that you built, whereas you are not, like we are now able to leverage our AI to get to our first deal. So I just want you to show us that, man, and show us cool things. I briefed them on it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I'm again, thanks again so much for having me on. Appreciate you being patient while I'm trying to figure out this audio issue. But I guess once I reset my computer, I'm good to go. So good seeing you here. Welcome everybody. Good morning, morning. Again, just quick little intro. Matt Camp over here with Deal Machine. Work on partnerships over here. Deal Machine, if you're not familiar with us, if you have heard of us, put that in the chat. Love to hear, if anyone's used Deal Machine before. If not, we're a mobile app and web app. And what I'm going to be showing off today is the web version of this. This actually literally just went live yesterday, man, like late afternoon went live. So this thing's barely been live. And it's only live in web right now. So only a few people even really have seen it, mess with it. Like you guys are some of the first to be able to see this. So nice. There we go. The Deal Machine thumbs up. Love it. So I'll be able to show off the web version today. Again, mobile will be going live within the next couple days. Might be today within the next couple days, though. We expect it to be live. Our mission over here is to give everyone the power of real estate investing using technology. And, we really, we're proud to say that we've had over 10,000 people who do wholesale deals or do deals using Deal Machine. So we hit that milestone. Love to be able to share what they're doing, what's working for them well. Right now in general is such an exciting time to be in this because I think if you're out there in your local market trying to get involved in the real estate game, I mean it's such an uncertain time in so many different ways that we as wholesalers provide certainty. We solve problems for people. We can bring to the table things like, hey, you can, do a transaction quickly. You can use cash. You can, provide convenience. So we bring a lot of value right now, especially. So this is a great time to be thinking about this stuff. And, Nasser too, I mean, when we were thinking about the AI angle for this, our main goal was to just lower the learning curve for newbies. Like anybody who's never used this, anybody who's never jumped into using Deal Machine, we want them to get in here and be able to easily know hey, what do I do next? And what can I, what should I be thinking about next? And it really in the end, gives you confidence too. I think David, which, you've had on David Lecco before. David, our founder, he is somebody who was a newbie to real estate himself before we started Deal Machine. And just kept feeling this limiting belief that he felt like he needed to know everything before he ever really took action, right? And that's what's great about this is to kind of give you a little bit of a guide, a little bit of a co-pilot, a little bit of an assistant that specializes in real estate that can kind of help guide you a little bit and say, hey, here's something you should be thinking about, or here's an action you can be taking, or, really kind of give you suggestions on the spot. So excited to show this off, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I'm more excited because for the newbie, right? They and even with my students, right? I'm pouring them to them weekly, giving them weekly calls. They have access to me, asking me questions. And what this will do is instead of them, waiting to talk to me, they can get questions and the normal newbie questions answered right then and there by artificial intelligence, man. And I think this is great, bro. Without further ado, man, let's get into it.
Awesome. So on my screen here, you can see again, it's the web version. Anything you do on mobile, it's going to sync up to web automatically. So if I added a lead here, if I added a lead on here or on the phone, either way, it's gonna go to the same place. Give me a zip code that you're active in or looking at right now.
A zip code. Let me see. Let me give you one of my hot zips.
You can do general city too if you want, but
yeah, absolutely. Let's do 28358.
let's see here. All right, so that'll zoom in over here. Perfect. North Carolina, right?
That would be North Carolina. Yes.
Okay, cool. So fantastic. So as we're looking at each of these, so you'll see, what we're most known for on the deal machine front is driving for dollars. So for anyone not familiar, hey, get in your car, drive around, look for fixer upper properties, create a list of those, and then market to those property owners, because those owners, like, hey, a rundown house is the number one indicator of a potentially motivated seller. And also, hey, those are the least competitive leads out there because you have driven around, you have found it yourself. You didn't just pull a list, you actually put a little bit of work into it looking for those houses. So they're less likely to be marketed to by other investors or found easily by other people. So that's what we're generally telling people is like, hey, driving for dollars is an approach that's been around forever. It works extremely well. Our founder was doing that and then created Deal Machine to make that process way easier, way more efficient, way more effective. And now on here, when you jump into Deal Machine, when you click on the Drive tab, you'll see the map right here, which this is essentially the houses around you right here in your local market. And then when you zoom in on one, say I'm driving down Spruce Street right here, and I see this house now, and let me load this up. All the little black dots around me that are popping up are all different properties you can click on. So let me drive down Spruce Street over here. If I click on a house, I can now jump into this, and on the right side, you'll see Alma appear. And this is something, it's going to be, if you scroll around, you'll see it like living in the bottom right corner right here. But this is something that anytime I click on a lead, I click on a property, any of these, let me find one that's not corporate owned. Here we go. So any of these houses, I click on that, it's going to pop up on the bottom right corner right there for me. So, this is something that is going to kind of be really easy and convenient for you to use at all times now. Just right in the app. You don't have to leave the app to go Google something or use any other AI tool, which, Nasser, did you say, are you using like any other AI right now in your business? I can't remember if how much you've used that.
No, I am not using AI currently in my business. I have virtual assistants and employees, so they pretty much do everything.
There you go. Yeah. I know some of you guys may have heard of like Chat GPT or any of that any other kind of AI tool out there. There's quite a few of them now. But instead of having to go outside the app and look for a very general one, this one is extremely specialized, and it's using the power of like just AI technology in general with our off-market data, which we have a ton of off-market property data, and putting those two things together to really kind of build this first of its kind AI tool in real estate, where it's just so much more insightful and so much more focused than anything else out there because it has all of that combined into one right there. So it's kind of your co-pilot in the moment in the app, assistant to be able to help you look at properties and kind of analyze what you're looking at. So where would you start here? I'm happy to show off some stuff, man. If you want to choose a prompt or prompt it yourself, I'm happy to go that direction too. So what would you prefer?
Okay. All right. So let's just pick something. Let's be random. Let's do
you can do anything.
924. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, help me write an SMS message to sentence owner. Because in my free Facebook group, Wholesaling with the Doru, we always get this question. It's like, yo, man, I just tell them, hey, this is Nasser. I like, are you open to selling your house at 123 Main Street? You know what I mean? So, just let's do that one.
Awesome. And really, like, again, this is something that we're very excited to see what you guys do with it, because it is brand new. You can type in whatever you want, be able to kind of use it that way and make kind of be free form. Or we do have these guided prompts right here, and you can see we have 10 preset prompts for you to kind of give you ideas on what you can be using this AI assistant for. But it says, hey, I'm Alma. We're calling it Alma, ALMA, which you can kind of see in the Deal Machine name up here, Alma. Hi, I'm Alma, your AI assistant for Real Estate Matters. What do you want to know about this property? Just to kind of give you ideas as well when we go through this before I click this prompt, the general buckets that we see working really well for this are one would be this kind of thing like guidance to reach out to sellers. Can you write me an SMS message? Can you write me a cold call script? Can you write me XYZ? And how should I reach out to sellers? That kind of stuff. The second bucket would be property analysis. So like it telling you, hey, could this be a good wholesale deal? Could this be a good buy and hold? Could it be, tell me more about the max allowable offer for the property. Like what should I offer? That type of stuff. And then the third bucket would be kind of finding resources for you. So you could say like, help me find a title company, help me find XYZ, renters in the area, stuff like that. So those are like kind of general buckets I'd say that work well. Like you said, help me write an SMS message. Here's an example. So cool. Hey, hi, Annie, Matt here. I noticed your property at 805 Spruce. Wanted to see if you're interested in selling. I have a great offer that might pique curiosity. Let's chat. If you're like, I want to try something a little different, you can say, hey, write me 5 more SMS messages. And it says, okay, cool. Well, hey, do you like one of these 5 options? And it'll go through and kind of how you're talking to it, how you're saying, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. That kind of, ongoing, conversation here is going to be able to help you get more and more out of it. So you can say, help me write 5 more messages. And, once you say, okay, cool, like, awesome, I'm going to send off one. Say you text that owner and you texted Annie and she said, yeah, I want to have a conversation. Can you get on a quick call? Then you're like, oh shoot, what do I do now? What should I ask the seller on a call? And it could say, well, hey, here are some things you can be thinking about. Here's a list of questions to ask them. Here's some ideas on how to, talk to the seller about if they're interested in selling that property. And you can even go as far as to say, let me view prompts and help me write a cold call script. That's one, can kind of get some kind of, role playing in here to be able to get used to talking to sellers this way too. You can, it'll do all that right on the spot for you. You can say like, hey, yeah, let me, help me practice negotiating. And it'll say, well, hey, here's some objections that Annie might have whenever you talk to her. So as you can see here, man, it's like kind of talking you through, okay, what do I need to know when I reach out to the seller? And how can I be prepared? And how can I know what is that next step of being able to really be prepared in any situation what they can be asking you. So.
Okay. Now, all right. So what this does is basically eliminate the thought process, right? So it eliminates the thought process, put it together for you. All you're doing is a copy and paste. And I tell my students, hey, listen, if you're going to be texting like 1 or 2 or 1, anywhere between 1 to 10 people a day, you could just go get a Google Voice number, which is free. Get a Google Voice, send them a text, and you can sit and wait. Is that correct, Matt?
Yeah. Yep. So right. Go ahead.
Now, the second question, right? Now, what if somebody says, hey, I don't know what to say. I want to cold call these people.
Yep, exactly. So it's like if we went through this and you said, hey, yeah, I want to text them. I want to, like you said, Google Voice number, copy and paste this right here, reach out to them, and then say the seller actually wanted to talk on the phone. At that point, I came in and said, hey, what should I ask the seller? Whenever I have this conversation, what are the things I need to be talking to them about to really get to know if this is a good deal, get to know, have a really good kind of initial conversation with that seller. So this will kind of give you some ideas of, hey, tell me more about the property. Why are you looking to sell? Have you received any other offers? Are there any issues with the property? What's your timeline? Things like that to help you really think through what are those things that I need to know to create a great deal. If you're, go ahead, Nasser.
I was good. The reason why I want you to highlight that, right? I see what you did. I wanted you to highlight that is because, right, when I was newer, this is me. When I was newer, before you guys were around back in 2000, I started my journey. I learned about creative real estate in 2010. I did my first wholesale deal in 2011 at 8 months consistent work. But what I used to do, I had a cue card, right? I would write down the questions of what you can potentially ask a seller, okay? And then I would keep that in my back pocket. So when the seller called me, if I'm leaving work, if I'm at lunch, hey, could you tell me a little bit about 1 to 3 minutes? How many beds? How many baths? Even in the meantime, I ask these questions. I'm looking at comparables so I
Yep.
can make the proper offer. But what I wanted to highlight that was for everybody for everybody looking at this is like it takes out the thought process. It's all right there. Like you can actually copy and paste this and put it in your notes app on your iPhone. Not sure how Android works, but I'm sure they have a note app, and you can put it there, and you can always have it with you, so you always prepared. And then eventually, after running through this about 10 to 15 times, you're going to just start freestyling because you're going to know the questions you want to answer.
Exactly, man. And the more you use this, the more you'll get, you'll really figure out like the best ways to get the most value out of it too. Like this is something that, similar to when we had smartphones for the first time, we had to teach ourselves like, oh, I've got an app for that now. I can look up this, I can do this on, on my phone now. Same thing with any kind of assistant or, AI technology. It's, hey, I don't know what to ask the seller. Well, let me ask Alma and get some ideas. It'll be good for brainstorming. It'll be good for starting from square one of what do I do next? So I see a few people in the chat. Yeah, the name is DoruDriving.com. Deal Machine is the app. We hook up. I know for your guys, Nasser, we give you guys a ton of free marketing credits. So if you go through that DoruDriving.com, you can try this out for 7 days free. I'll say Alma is for our Deal Machine Pro level members and up. So we have Deal Machine Starter, Pro, and then Teams. So if you want to try this out for free, it would be Pro level for 7 days free. And then you get a bunch of marketing credits in there for free as well because you went through that link. And the marketing credits are good for things like, if I want to skip trace, which, for this particular owner, I can hit the skip trace button inside the app and it'll give me phone numbers to get in touch with this owner. You can also send postcards to the owner. That's, that it covers that for free too. So you'll be able to do a lot of kind of like marketing outreach for free if you go through that link. That's what we're hooking you guys up with there. So I will mention too, like, I know when you're going through this, again, you're going to kind of have to get used to asking it questions. We started off with SMS message. So us saying like, yes, this is somebody I want to reach out to. How do I reach out to them? Well, hey, here's some ideas on how to do that. Here's some ideas on how to have a conversation with them. Here's a cold call script to kind of help me practice what that conversation is going to actually look like. Here's some objections that the seller might raise to say, she might say, hey, I was hoping you had a higher offer. She might say, I received other offers from investors. She might say, I think the property's worth more than you're offering. Or let's see, I don't think the offer takes into account the improvements I've made, things like that to help you kind of be anticipating potential objections that you'll want to walk through with the seller and explain to them and be ready to overcome. So you can use it in that way as well. But that's kind of just one bucket of what Alma can do. What the AI technology can do is having conversations with sellers. Another big piece of this would be the actual deal analysis part. And so, this step of understanding like how do I reach out to the seller, that's great. If you want to figure out like, hey, could this potentially be a good wholesale deal to begin with as well? We do have, again, these 10 preset prompts. If you're just joining us, you click on view prompts and you can see this analyze this property button right here. And this is something that will just quickly be able to tell you like, hey, what investment strategy you're looking at. Let's try wholesale. Let's see here if we've got the info. So based on what we have provided, the max allowable offer is $4,900. Interesting. So it's a free and clear property, so they don't have a loan on it. But let's see here, the repair cost is estimated around $49K after repair value 77. So it's a pretty small profit margin here. Yeah, so it will walk through some logic to tell you like, hey, based on the loan amount, based on the max allowable offer, is this even a good wholesale deal potentially to begin with? So, for a lot of these, we can actually walk through and figure out like, how did they come to that max allowable offer number? Like give me the calculate the offer price in front of me. And it will walk through that logic in front of you too and say, hey, to get to that offer, here's how we got there. Here's the formula we used. And this is something which, Nasser, when do you, for your max allowable offer formula, is there, can you kind of walk through how you think about giving offers and we can kind of compare what it's doing to, what you're talking about there?
Yeah. And I teach my students the same formula, ARV times 0.70.
Perfect.
Minus repairs, minus wholesale fees. Now, For you who are blessed to be inside a major city, you might can do 0.75 and still get the deal, you know, so and still be able to make money. California guys, that market is crazy. You guys, when the market was hot, y'all was buying at like 0.85. So I mean, it probably went down like 0.8 for you guys, but yeah, and national average is 0.70. Major cities, I think you can get away with 0.75. I know in Charlotte you could.
Yep.
And yeah, with that being said, man, this just takes out the thinking. So it's doing everything for you. Now, and this is actually right. Like Lumberton is a city, whereas the properties don't cost much, and you know, it's crazy. It may sound, it says offering, you know, $5,000. Yes, you can get a house in Lumberton for five. That I know it sounds crazy, but this is actually spot on with the type of offers you make for a whole house in this particular city. So to actually get it sold.
This is something too. So this has estimated repair costs. It's probably the biggest question mark variable that I'd recommend you guys still doing your due diligence on. We have general condition data. We don't have like, hey, this property needs a new roof and it's got this going on today and this, you know, like there are variables that I would recommend you guys put your own due diligence in. That's probably the main thing that could, you know, tweak this number a little bit, you know. But we do have general condition data. So like, is this average? Is it you know, is it in bad shape? Is it, you know, in pristine shape? And then based on that, we can kind of get a rough repair cost based on square footage and condition together. So that's where like, hey, if this number is really, really low, then maybe revisit the repair costs again and look at that to see like, hey, is this a little, you know, is this accurate to be able to know, you know, what is that kind of final max allowable offer? But the formula is right here. You know, love that we're on the same page there. You know, MAO equals the after repair value times 0.7, and then take out your repair costs and take out your wholesaler's fee after that. So you'll want to find what is the after repair value first and foremost, which this is calculating that for you. But we do have a comps tool right inside Deal Machine here too, where if you click on comps, you can use this to be able to go in and say like, hey, yeah, let me find the after repair value based on the comps right here. And that's where it's getting that number. And then after that, let me jump back in here. After that, it's saying, okay, here's the after repair value that we came up with. Okay, cool. Now we times it by 0.7, like we have in our formula right here. Then we took out those repair costs that, like I said, that's the biggest variable that I would recommend you guys doing your due diligence on. And then we took out a 10% wholesale fee. So that's how we kind of worked this math right there for you. And it'll show you the whole thing. Here's what I did. If you disagree with something, you could say, hey, yeah, you know, I want a $10,000 wholesale fee instead. What is my new max allowable offer? So you can kind of tweak it that way and says, well, hey, based on that, here's what it's going to look like. And it's going to, you know, here's what your new max allowable offer is going to be. So it'll go back through and really kind of rework the math for you, but it'll lay out its logic based on how you're having that conversation with it. So.
All right. So, yes. With that being said, man, I appreciate it, Felino. This is actually a game changer. They're first in the industry to actually do this and to make it easy for you guys. So this is not behind like, oh, you have to buy my X coaching so I can. No. This is an app that's been around. It's been tested. It can work in any market cycle. Like, and I'm not just saying that, guys. I'm saying that because I got started and I did my first wholesale deal in 2011. Guys, it was easier to find the sellers, but there were no buyers because there was no money around. The reason being, this was the second worst recession since the Great Depression that I got started in. So, and driving for dollars will always work, right? It would always work regardless of market cycle. This is how you can continue to get great deals during this cycle, when the cycle is good. I swear, bro, it's you can't lose with this. All right, just gotta be willing to do the work, and it's making like this add-on allows you to do less work than what you already do. Like if you notice, Matt is not in his car. He's not in his car driving around hitting the pavement. He's at home. So you can do this on your couch. You know, if you want to drink water, soda, eat chips, watch your television, whatever. You can do this. So you can do it, and they make it all easy for you. I just wanted to say that, man.
Absolutely, man. It is cool. Like, again, it came out yesterday. So yesterday late. So that you guys are one of the first people to see this going. Really excited. Again, it's on Deal Machine Pro. We just rolled it into Pro. This is new technology. We want you guys to use this. We didn't like change pricing. We didn't do anything. We just included this into Deal Machine Pro and said, go at it, go have fun, like go start using this thing, because we want to see how you guys get creative with it too. Like again, we have 10 different prompts right here that kind of get those conversations started, but you can go in here, you can type anything you want, and it's going to use our off-market property data combined with the AI data or the AI technology right here to give you a very, very focused real estate specific answer, and help you do everything, again, from the calculations to the understanding how to reach out to the seller to help you find resources around you, and all kinds of other stuff that it's gonna be really cool to see what you guys come up with. So even if you're out there, you're using it for the first time, I would love to see, like, if you find an awesome prompt, like if you figure out something that you've asked it that it came back with really awesome information, we would love for you guys to share that too. So that way we can see that and see what you guys are using it for, and help each other, help you post that prompt to, on social media and say, hey, try this. And you're going to get really, really good information out of it, and, get creative with it. So, again, as you're out there, you can add properties, you can analyze them like this, and I'll keep showing this off today. But that's one thing I would love for you guys to do, is if you're using the app and you figure out something that you asked Alma that gave back really, really awesome information, please post that on social. We would tag us too, so we can see it. And we love to be able to share that with people, and hey, use it for this and use it for that.
All right. We got a good one. Can Alma get you the phone number, Matt?
So you have the skip trace button right here. So you hit add lead, and then you can hit skip trace, and it's going to come back with phone numbers right on the spot. It'll come back and say, like, hey, here's 12 phone numbers to try for Randy. And I won't share those on here, but this is something that you can do right there. So you wouldn't put in here. You can say, okay, cool. Now that I have 12 phone numbers for the seller, now what do I do? You can do that, and it'll come in and say, well, hey, based on that, here's what I recommend you do. You can be, you want to reach the seller, be respectful, introduce yourself. Cool. Hey, what should I ask the seller when they pick up the phone? So you can kind of use this to really kind of guide you and say, well, hey, here's a list of questions to ask it. So again, you've got a combination of Alma right here to give you that information, and then Deal Machine to be able to skip trace, be able to run comps, be able to send mail, all right there for you. Where, again, in the mobile app, or sit on the couch. So,
all right. So Matt, this is actually a good one. Mm-hmm. Can you ask AI and say, hey, listen, within X town or within 15 miles, can you find me all raw lands with buildable lots? Is that an option?
Let's see here. Within the city limits of
Lumberton, North Carolina.
I'm assuming no, but you know what? Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Cool. Let's see here. Let's see. How are there many websites? So it'll give you, it's just giving you information on how to do it. So I would say in general, this AI, again, it's 1.0. So it's going to keep evolving and keep, being able to do more, with you, like you're asking it to do. But that being said, like you want to use it in addition to the rest of Deal Machine. So like, for example, if you want to look for raw land, well, hey, we have a highlights button for that, where if you click highlights and you could say, hey, create a highlight, and I want to find property type here, and we'll go to, you have a bunch of property types right here, like vacant land. Let's start there. Vacant land, confirm it, and apply those filters, and you'll start to see filters pop up where you've got some vacant land options. And you can see, like, hey, let me go through and let me clear this one, and let me look at property type as a, maybe you want to go for multifamily. Property type is multifamily. Cool, confirm that. And you've got a lot of different highlight options of using Deal Machine in those ways as well. where you can say, okay, cool, I'm using the other deal machine features to find the specific properties. Now let me click on one of those and use Alma to really evaluate that property and really, ask more specific questions. So I would say I wouldn't be isolated to just using the AI assistant itself, but use that in combination with every other tool we've got in there to be able to skip trace, reach out to them, mail them, find new properties, and do this all together. It's the power of Alma plus the rest of Deal Machine that makes it so much more more helpful. Yeah.
All right. So essentially, to answer that question, Deal Machine already has that built in the easy way. If you look at everything highlighted, it's there. So you can literally look for land within wherever you're at, wherever you go to in America, the whole United States of America, 50 states, all 50 states, right? You can look and you can find the raw land, and you can if you don't know what to say to them, you can ask Armor. You can get the phone number from them. Like, this is an all-in-one. So I just want to let you guys know this is an all-in-one. And yes, and if you use my link, DoruDriving.com, not only you're going to get a 7-day free trial, you're going to get $15 in credits. So with that $15 in credit, what that means is you're going to get about 150 free skips, I believe, or 100 skips, or whatever, or about 33 mail pieces that you can mail them. Now, when you get this app, I want you to utilize the app. Don't let it just sit. This is a business. And the app, after the 7-day free trial, they have different packages. If you want this, you get the pro. However, this is an investment in your business. Okay? Remember, real estate is a business. You can make a lot of money in this business, and you also can become homeless in this business. However, with the wholesaling, that's the least amount of risk. So that won't get you homeless, thankfully. But with that being said, this tool can make you a lot of money if you use it the correct way. All right. So yes.
Yeah. I love where Keith's head is at here too. Yeah, it'd be crazy. I mean, that's basically, I would say, hey, use this AI for each individual property, use it to be able to assist you within each individual property, and then take action on the information it's giving you outside of that property, right? Like, again, you can skip trace right inside the app, by adding the lead and then, hitting the skip trace button. You can use the highlights tool to be able to identify other leads around you, and then jump into Alma and be able to figure out like how to get in touch with that seller and write the message and all that right there. But this is very much version 1. So we would love to see, feel free to throw suggestions in the chat. I'll keep putting those into Alma here for a few more minutes. And then also, hey, I want to see you guys get creative with it. Again, if you find a prompt that works really well, would love for you to post it to social, tag us on it, so that way we can see what's working well, and see like, hey, share this with the community and find more and more ways to get value out of it. Because this is brand new. It's going to keep evolving, and we're going to be able to help provide more and more value to you guys. So. Great stuff. Really appreciate the questions there. I will say one thing I have seen people use it for too, and it can be dependent on the area, but you can say, like, to get started, if you jump into Deal Machine, again, we're known for driving for dollars first and foremost. So, a lot of people, when they get into Deal Machine, they're like, okay, hey, where should I drive? Where should I go look for deals? And, using where should I drive for dollars near zip code. Let's try this one, 28358. Let's see what this comes back with. Here you go. So it'll tell you, okay, well, hey, it's not going to actually give you the driving directions, but it can say, here's the process to do it. Here's what to do. You can say, are there any neighborhoods near 283 or 28358 good for investing? And things like that. And you could say, well, hey, here's some good areas you can consider, which you tell me if these are good, Nasser. But here, Tanglewood, Oak Ridge, East Lumberton, Mayfair. So it'll kind of give you a little bit of guidance on, hey, think about this area, think about this area.
Yeah, and yes, and yeah. So, and they're actually very good, and this is what we want you guys to like leverage this, right? Like, all right, so I'm a little bit more advanced, right? So this is great for somebody who's new and that's limited in resources, right? So that way you can have all your answers at the button of your fingertips, like just at the tip of your fingertips. All the answers are there. And I just want you guys to leverage this software to become financially independent. Okay. You know, and as again, this is 1.0. As we move on, you know, they will have more and more options. Now, the pro, you get the pro version, you get the comps and all that. So, you'll get this tool so that you can, hey, you got literally your all in one right here. And you're just basically making offers. This is a numbers game. In order to do deals, you have to just get out there and make offers. If you sit there twiddling your fingers, you know, chances are you're not going to get a deal. You got to do the work.
Absolutely. In the end, you're right. Like it is a tool to help you be way more efficient, way more effective, lower the learning curve, help you know what to do next. But in the end, it's a tool. It's up to you guys to run with it. And, we want to give you the, the full toolkit you need to be successful in this business. But in the end, it does take you getting out there and looking for those deals in that way. So, yeah, Letitia, I love that. I love that. This is a game changer. Again, I would love to see your guys' feedback on what you find whenever you're messing with, talking to the AI assistant, the Alma in here. Love to see what you come up with. Love to see what prompts you put in, what you type in here that gives you really good information. And again, share that on social and tag us. So that way we can share with other people and give other people the ability to go out there and do it for themselves too. So awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, in closing, man, now, Matt, if people want to get in touch with you, they have some questions. How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, feel free. I mean, you can share my emails. It's Matt@DealMachine, MATT@DealMachine.com. At the very least, I can help you guys out, point you in the right direction on the team. And then again, yeah, if you want to actually try this out, be able to start using Alma for yourself and see, where you can go from here. It's just DoruDriving.com. That will give you 7 days free. This is the first real estate, investing AI tool of its kind like this, where it's literally brand new, came out yesterday. So you guys, I mean, in general, like, hey, if you're going to be an early adopter on this stuff and you're one of the first people to use AI in this way, like that's a huge advantage in and of itself too. So I'd say get out there, jump on that. And I'm excited to see the ways that you guys get creative using this and go land your first deal and many after that. So.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, in closing, we're gonna wrap this up. I hope this was helpful for you guys. The replay is available on YouTube, so you can watch this all week long, next month, all throughout the year. The replay will be available on YouTube shortly once this uploads. Again, if you want the 7-day free trial, go to DoruDriving.com. And you can play with the software and test it out. They trust the software so much, they're going to give you a 7-day free trial. And yes, if you want this feature, though, you would have to upgrade to Pro. All right. So in closing, thank you all for attending. Make sure you guys share this video with your accountability group. Share it with your newbie real estate investor friends, your old real estate investors friends, and let this be a resource to get to your next deal.
Love it, guys. Happy deal finding. Get out there and again, keep in touch. I'm happy to be a resource for you and excited to see how you use Alma and use Deal Machine.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys.